Welcome to Alice Arena. Tonight, the Jasper Wildcats are on the road in Vincennes, Indiana, against the Vincennes Lincoln Alices. Wildcats coming to the game 4-4 on the season against Vincennes, standing at 1-7. Hello, everybody. I'm Craig Schneider, along with Jason Stamm and Jeremy Marcos on the video. And Jason, just a quick recap of the game the other night. Wright's knocking off the Wildcats 48-39. Right now, we're in kind of a four-game stretch where they're all SIAC games, where we basically are 1-1, winning against Central 60-43, lost to Wrights 48-39. Moondy had 14 in that game. Griffin-Heil had 12. But the big thing with that basketball game are the 18 turnovers.
Yeah, there's no doubt, Craig. We talked about that during the game, and I'm sure Coach Begley probably alluded to that also when you talked to him afterwards. But you're not going to win many high school basketball games with 18 turnovers. I'm sure Coach Gable and the coaching staff went back to work the last 2 days, talking to these guys, these young men, and trying to preach to them and tell them, hey, we got to take care of the basketball, number one.
Right.
If you're not hitting your shots, that's one thing, but there's no reason to commit turnovers, and there's no reason to have a lack of hustle.
Well, again, we're going to be taking on a Vincennes team that lost their first 7 games of the season before they finally won their last one. That was against Tell City. They played in that Perry Spencer County tournament where they got beat by Heritage Hills 65-41, South Spencer 66-46, and Tell City they won that game 60-41. But a new coach taking over. It's the first time he's coached since 2016. That is Dave Marin, who is actually a number of years he's been coaching, 31 years overall, but he had years at Adams Central, South Vermilion, Rockville. Actually had some really good success at Rockville, where he actually took them to the state finals in 2012. But the last time he coached a couple of years at Edgewood, and that was 2016, where he went 18-9. But he's got a Vincennes team tonight that is led by Joel Sanders, who averages 13.1 points per ball game. And he shoots about 51% from three-point range. They're without their second leading scorer. That's Luke Tolliver, who averages close to 10 points a game and shoots 43% from three. So, again, we just really need to key on one guy and then make sure nobody else fills that other spot.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think tonight I look for Griffin-Heil, Wallace, and Howard to have a big night in the paint. We've got to dominate the paint tonight and be able to score at will in there.
All right, so we are underway with this basketball game. So the Jasper Wildcats with their same starting lineup out there. Carter Moondy, Grant Young, Cabricks 25, Will Wallace, number 51, and Cameron Howard again starting tonight, number 53, as the Cats get into their offense. Vincennes starts Luke Hall, number 2. Raiden Benson is number 5. Gus McCrary's 21, Joel Sanders 23, and Wade Hall is number 32. So that shot by Cabrick doesn't go, and Vincennes gets the rebound. Here comes Luke Hall on the left side.
I thought Jasper did a good job of being patient. They had the ball. They ran their offense for a little bit. Not a bad shot, just didn't go in.
There's a drive to the lane there. Now finally kicked up top, and they work the perimeter here. And cross court to the other side. That's Luke Hall from 3. Misses that first shot there, and Cats come down with the rebound. So we got a vantage point really from the end zone, basically.
Yeah, we're right. We're almost directly behind the basket.
I was going to say whether we're on the north or south side. I'm not really sure what the direction is on this basketball court, but still. There's a three-point shot from the corner, not there for Cabrick. So Luke Hall comes down with the rebound. Sanders has the basketball. Again, he's their leading scorer at 13 points a ball game. See if they try to work him in some open shots. Now they get it to him in the corner. So, again, 51% shooter, but he misses everything over the top there. They're able to get the rebound. That's Benson with it now up top.
One of the keys that the coaching staff had on their scouting report is they want to really put defensive pressure on them and try to force turnovers. And what I've seen so far, we're not really – I wouldn't say getting after it on defense. Obviously Vincennes hasn't scored, but we're not putting a lot of defensive pressure, I don't think, right now.
All right, we're almost 2 minutes into it. Neither team has scored yet. 6:05 on the clock. So Cats will bring it up. Grant Young with the basketball. He will be met by number 21, Gus McCrary. Vincennes in a man-to-man. Carter Mooney's going to be short on that three-point shot, but they're actually going to call a push-off on the rebound there, so that's going to be the first personal foul on the Wildcats. So that's going to go on number 25, Cabrick, so he's going to sit down, and quickly off the bench is Andrew Noblet.
Jasper's in there man-to-man. I thought maybe they looked like they might try to. They're
trap.
They're doing that after the first pass. They're trying to run and jump and put. I think what coach is doing, he's trying to make them jumpstart them basically on defense by making them do stuff like that.
Vincennes not hitting from the perimeter on their offensive attempts here so far. Carter Mooney's going to rise and shoot from about 10 and can't get that baseline jumper to go, so Vincennes going to come the other way. So we're almost 3 minutes into it. Neither team has scored yet.
And for me, looking at it, that's an advantage Vincennes. You know, I mean, that there is no score, because that's what they need to keep the scoring as low as what they can to try to stay in the game.
Right. A little too tall on that pass to Benson, so Carter comes down with it. Cats starting to work things around the perimeter. Screen set there, not a cross-court pass over to Noblet.
See, our big men inside, though, they're not working hard. They're not trying to post up. They're just standing there. See, I mean, Wallace is down here on the low post. We've got a very good angle of it, and he's just standing there instead of trying to get his defensive guy on his backside and get the ball so he can score.
Cats doing it pretty well. The same thing, just shooting from the perimeter, but Noblet's able to knock that one down. So finally the scoring is broken. 3-0 Jasper. 4:15 on the clock here. Jasper against Vincennes. Vincennes 0-2 in the SIAC conference. Jasper is 2-2 coming into tonight. Again, third out of 4 straight conference games. They'll play North tomorrow night on their home court.
Vincennes runs a typical offense that we've seen numerous times this year with the 4 out. Sometimes they've even got 5 guys out beyond the 3-point line. So it's nothing that we haven't seen.
They got a nice drop down there and a shot up and in for Benson. Raiden Benson pops that one. First 2 points for Vincennes and a personal foul called on the Wildcats.
I believe Carter Mundy's going to pick that one up as Braden Giesler checks in for Wallace.
Vincennes actually with a couple players out tonight. Also Zach Steffi, we talked about Luke Tolliver out.
Yeah, I see both of them sitting down here at the end of the bench. One of them's got a boot on. I'm not sure what's wrong with the other one, but neither one of them are dressed, so they're probably, obviously they're not going to play tonight.
Giesler's checked into the ball game, throws a baseline over to Noblet. Noblet 2 for 2 from 3. So Jasper with the 6-3 lead.
That's nice to see Phillip coming out of the gate, you know, hitting first couple shots. And they were good shots. His feet were set. He caught it ready to shoot. Nothing was rushed or hurried.
There's a strong move put up and in by Wade Hall for his first 2 points of the ball game, and that makes it a 6-5 contest. Jasper with the lead, but John Gable wants to talk about it here. So 2:59 on the clock. Jasper 6, Vincennes 5 here on 18 WJTS. Vincennes looking like they're applying a little bit of pressure, but they back off once they get the inbound here. Giesler on the corner. Now that gets over to Grant Young. Grant's got a look there. Nope, doesn't take it. He'll drive. Gets down low, feeds to the other corner, and Noblet with another shot doesn't go, and so comes down with the rebound. Vincennes is Sanders to get over to McCrary and right back over to Sanders on the right side. Luke Hall gives it up. Gus McCrary has had just 1 look so far tonight. 2:10 on the clock, 6-5 Jasper with a 1-point lead. First quarter action here from Alice Arena, Vincennes, Indiana. Rivalry game between the Alices and the Wildcats. There's a 3-point shot from the right wing. Does not go for Hall. Cats come down with the rebound. Here comes Noblet quickly over to Carter Mundi. He gives it up. Back over to the top, and there's Gieser with a nice look, but short on that 3-point shot.
I have to say one thing. Vincennes has done a pretty good job on the defensive board. I mean, they've limited Jasper to one shot. It's shot and out.
There's a strong move again by Raiden Benson. He's got 5 points, and Vincennes now with a 7-6 lead with 1:30 to go here in the first. Noblet on the wing.
We've got to get the ball inside. I mean, Howard's a lot taller than anybody they've got out there. I mean, it looks like they've got a guard gardening. We've got to do a better job of recognizing when we have mismatches.
Well, there's Noblet. He goes strong, but Howard comes down with a rebound, and he will be fouled, so he's going to go to the line to shoot two. 7-6 lead for Vincennes, 1:06 on the clock. Second foul on the team. It's the first foul called on Raiden Benson. Howard's foul shot short. So substitutions, Griffin Heil looking to check in. I think he's going to shoot for the shooter there, or come in for the shooter.
Yeah, Cabrick came in for Mundi.
All right. So second free throw from Howard, short again, and coming down with a rebound with substitution is DeJuan Gillis, who's checked in for Vincennes, number 4. Inside a minute, Vincennes with the basketball, 1-point lead, 7-6. As they get it over there, McCrary with the shot, and he shows why he's a 51% three-point shooter. Nothing but net on that shot, and Vincennes now with a 10-6 lead. But quick throw down to Howard, and he gets it up and in. All right, so this time Vincennes wants the timeout. So 38.7 on the clock. Jasper trails by 2, 10-8 here on 18 WJTS. All right, Vincennes comes out of the timeout. Will inbound. 38 seconds on the clock. They have a 2-point lead, 10-8. Cats in the full court pressure here. Give it a Luke Hall. Now they back up. Sanders with the basketball. Gives it over to Gillis. There's McCrary. Try to get him trapped over there. Now he's able to give it up. Throw down low into Gillis. Now over to McCrary. Top of the key. Man, he's nails. 2 out of 3 from three-point range already in this basketball game, and he gives Vincennes a 5-point lead with 11 seconds to go. Grant Young's left alone. Can't get that shot to go. From the Alices. Heave, oh my goodness, almost went in, so. All right, so Vincennes with the three-point shooting late there by Gus McCrary leads 13-8 over the Wildcats here on 18 WJTS. All right, so Vincennes with the basketball. I was talking about Gus McCrary being their dead-eye three-point shooter. Actually, he's only shooting 20% from three-point range, so.
Not tonight.
Stand corrected. That was actually Joel Sanders is their top three-point shooter. But still, McCrary doing the job.
He's open again.
Gonna pop another one.
Nope.
Misses that one, though. Now there's Sanders, and he's short on his three-point shot. Carter Mundi attacks the basket there. He's cut off. Feed up to Cabrick. Gillis on him.
Get it in there to Giesler. We just don't feed the post.
We not even looking for it.
No.
There we finally do. Heil can't handle that one, though. But rebound by Gieser, gets it over to Carter Mundi. He can't get it to go, but Cabrick with a rebound and put back up and in.
We just talked about how what a good job Vincennes was doing on the defensive glass, but that time they kind of got let down a little bit and let Jasper have multiple chances.
Well, Jasper gambled there, and now that's actually going to be a travel. So Gillis a little too quick with his feet there, but they were able to beat the press there.
Yeah, they were. We did a lot better job, for a positive in that first quarter. I didn't have us for any turnovers. So obviously that's an improvement from Tuesday night.
Right. Protecting the basketball, we've got to hit some shots and get some better scoring opportunities, though. Darius Hill has checked in for Vincennes, number 24. Kabrick being guarded by Gillis. Now he gives it into the lane. Back kick over to the corner is Noblet. Noblet's three-point shot goes in, so he's three three-pointers he's hit tonight, 3 out of 4 so far, and that's tied the game at 13 with 6:23 to go here in the second quarter. Vincennes again beats the press but can't finish on the other side as Hill was too strong on that shot. Here comes Carter Mooney, kick to the corner to Kabrick. Now he's going to drive. Looking for some help there. He's in trouble. Now he gives it over to Geisler, and he gets an open, and he puts it up and in. Braden Geisler with his first 2 points of the ball game. It makes it a 15-13 game. Jasper now with the lead.
We're playing a little better with a little more emotion this second quarter than what we did the first quarter. First quarter, it looked like we were just out there going through the motions.
Geisler too strong on the free throw. Cats have yet to hit one tonight, 0 for 3. 15-13 with about 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Gillis with it, drives, picks it up, and good job by Heil to steal that pass. Leading the break is Kabrick, puts it up and in, so the Cats getting some scoring opportunities. Kabrick with 4 points here in the quarter, now lead by 4. Stop and pop there for number 23, Joel Sanders, and Cats come down with a defensive rebound. Tempo picking up here for the Jasper Wildcats. Feed back over to Kabrick. Now he's going to give it to the wing, and Carter can't get that one to go, but that's going to be knocked out of bounds there by Hill.
We're putting just enough pressure on them, full court. We're kind of forcing the action, forcing them to get down the floor, and they're taking some tough shots down there and not converting them. So that's what has helped Jasper build the 4-point lead.
Kabrick with the inbound. That's what you want right there, a 3-point shot by Carter Mooney. But, boy, he has really been struggling with that shot over the last few games.
Yeah, he has. You know, and I'm sure it's not a lack of practice. You know, good shooters just go in slumps sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, things don't go in.
Always a fan of shooting your way out of it when you got his ability.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, and I don't think Coach Gable will fault him for any of that because he knows that he does have the capabilities to hit them at any time.
Sanders with the basketball. Left open for a 3-point shot. Still looking for his first one. Vincennes yet to score in the quarter. 4:39 on the clock. Playing almost half of it here. Mooney will drive. Now he kicks. Noblet. He's got three pointers tonight.
Get it into Griffin.
He's not even looking.
No. It's like we have a play
there
set to run, and that's all we're going to do. You know, we can't deviate from that. I mean, we ended up getting it in there, but why run the extra passes? Get it in there when you can.
Oh, I know. So Griffin Howe puts it up there, and the Wildcats are on a little scoring run here, leading 19-13 with 4:18 on the clock here on 18 WJTS. Jasper on 11-0 run to start this second quarter. 4:18 on the clock. They now lead 19-13. They trailed 13-8 at the start. McCrary with it. Vincennes able to break the press there. It's Luke Hall with the basketball now. Hall will drive. Gillis gives it up. There's a 3-point shot, so it seems like that's kind of what they're falling into, is just launching threes. Kyle sets up a screen there. Grant Young pulls up his dribble, though.
Why don't we get the ball? Yeah. Post,
again, right
Griffin.
there.
Post.
Cross court over to Noblet. Again, his shot is hitting tonight, and he hits his 4th 3-pointer. So Noblet doing the job, and the Cats now lead by 9, 22-13. Big night off the bench so far for Andrew. Gillis picks up his dribble. Hall with it. Gives it up to the corner. McCrary again, his shot has been on, but he way off on that one. Here comes Grant Young quickly, looking for an opening there. Now he backs up. Wallace back into the ball game, trying to set a screen, but Nabwa drives. Kicks over to Mooney, see if he can get out of his slump from three. Nope, still can't hit one. And that's going to be a foul on the Wildcats here on that rebound.
I believe Heil's going to pick that one up.
So first one on Griffin. Cabrick back in, Howard back in. Carter and Griffin sit. Vincennes got Raiden Benson back into the ball game. So the Alice is back out there with their starting lineup with 2:45 to go, trailing by 9, looking for their first points of the quarter.
I would say Jasper's done a good job on defense, but I'm not so sure that it's all Jasper's defense. But, I mean, we have played a little bit better the second quarter on defense than what we did.
And they had a couple post scores down low with Benson earlier in the game. But there's McCrary hitting another three-pointer, so he's got 9 points all from beyond the arc, and that's their first 3 points of the quarter, 22-16 with 2:12 on the clock. Jasper with the lead.
There it is. See, we missed him again. I mean, we got a good vantage point to see that tonight. We can see how wide open these post players are.
Again, Howard's got it.
Wallace was open, and Cabrick never once even looked.
Wallace able to get the long rebound there. Nabwa with it, back into Wallace. They keep dropping that guy down with the double team. Now he gets it over to.
But that's where you play the inside-outside game.
So Grant Young with a nice teardrop there in the lane. Gets 2 points back for the Wildcats. 8-point lead, 24-16 with 1:28 to go here in the quarter. Carter Mooney looking to come back in for the Cats. It's McCrary. Why not? Doesn't go, though.
And that's one of the things on the scouting report that the coaches had. They shoot a lot of three-pointers, and the ball, when you miss on a three, it's a long rebound. So don't be under the basket. Right there was a perfect example. We had 2 guys under the basket. The ball went to the Vincennes guy who wasn't under the basket.
McCrary goes to the lane this time and absorbs through the contact, puts it off the glass, up and in. So he's got a ball game going tonight, 11 points, 11 of their 16. He's going to go to the free throw line. So Mooney back in, Gieser back in as Nabwa and Wallace will sit. 24-18 is our score. And McCrary long on the free throw. Inside a minute. Three-point long there for Grant Young. And the Alice is down by 6, 40 points. 38 seconds on the clock. Clock's running. Don't say the points.
Yeah, by the time you say the point seconds, it's gone.
I just looked up the scoreboard. I say 0.8. All right, now we're down to 26, 25. Actually, with our camera angle, you can probably see the scoreboard.
Probably see the clock, yeah.
Sanders, we've cut him out from scoring all night tonight. He averages 13 and shoots 51% from three-point range, but nothing tonight. It's been McCrary's been able to hit it. There's a three-point shot that doesn't go for Hall on that, but actually Vincennes does come up with it. Hall just launches it up there at the last second, but it does not go. So Wildcats trailed 13-8 after the first quarter, but come back big in that second quarter and lead 28-18. So thoughts on the first half here, Jason?
Well, I think we talked a little bit about that, how the first quarter, it didn't feel like we were ready to go. Didn't look like we were ready, We have an advantage because we get these scouting reports from the coaching staff. Yeah. So it's easy now to look at what they've been going to practice with every day to teach these guys what to expect when they get to these games.
Yeah.
We have it here, and you look, and we don't do these things.
Right.
And that's why The other night against Wrights, we had one, and we weren't doing the things. The keys to the game, if we don't do those, the coaching staff puts that together. They know that that's what we have to do to win the game.
Right.
Tonight is a little bit different example because Vincennes obviously isn't as good as what Wrights was.
Yeah.
So you can get by with making a few more mistakes on those key points.
Well, what are some of the points that they're bringing up there that we're not executing?
You know, the points that they had for this game was it's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't talked a lot about that
Right.
yet, but, you know, it is. It's a Jasper Vincennes game.
Yep.
It said don't look past their record and expect a tough effort. Yeah, that's what we've had.
Yeah.
Dominate the paint. That's number 2. We have not done that at all.
No.
Use our defensive pressure to force turnovers and bad shots. We really haven't done that either.
Yeah.
Set the tone early and don't give them hope. Well, we didn't do that. They were ahead after the first quarter.
Right.
And, you know, they're still in the game. It's a 6-point game.
Yep.
And then the last one is ball movement and player movement, meaning don't stand around.
Exactly.
And you can just watch it on offense that, you know, the guy with the ball's moving and maybe one other guy's moving, but nobody else is. We're not in sync.
Right.
So, you know, out of those 4 points, 5 points, our grade's not very good on them so far.
Okay.
Now we do have a second half to fix it.
We do. All right. Well, we're at halftime right now. Jasper with a 6-point lead, 24-18 here on 18 WJTS. Welcome back to Alice Arena. Jasper Wildcats against the Vincennes Lincoln Alices. Getting set to start the second half here. Jason Stamm, Craig Schneider, and Jeremy Marcos bringing into the action here on 18 WJTS. And first, let's take a look at Vincennes. We held Joel Sanders intact, their leading scorer, averaging 13 points a ball game, shooting 51% from three-point range. But he has yet to score, but it got picked up by Gus McCrary, who averages about 5 points a game, shooting only 20% from three-point range. But he has popped 3 3-pointers and another bucket, so he's got 11 points for Vincennes, 5 points for Raiden Benson, and 2 points for Wade Hall. So the Wildcats holding Vincennes to only 5 points in the second quarter after they scored 13 in the first. The Jasper Wildcats scored 16 points in that second quarter to build up to this 24-18 lead. And their leading scorer, Andrew Nobbit, off the bench, 2 3-pointers in the first, 2 3-pointers in the second. So he's got 12 points to lead the Cats. Cabrick's got 4, and then 2 points from Grant Young, Cameron Howard, Braden Gieser, and Griffin Heil. So the Cats will have the basketball to start things off here in the second half. Curious to see if Vincennes would make any defensive adjustments, but they're still in a man-to-man.
I mean, just there we were trying to run our offense, and 2 offensive players run into each other. I mean, that shouldn't happen. I mean, there again, Howard's posting up halfway, and we don't even look at him.
So Mooney's still looking for that first 3-pointer. Really not much to say because there's not much going on.
See, I mean, look how many guys are moving. You know, they're not. Howard's open. Get him the basketball.
Yeah. Seems like the offense is just totally, I'm not going to say ignoring him, but forgetting him.
Well, I mean, we've got no leadership out there right now. You know, somebody needs to step up and be a leader on this team.
So Mooney gets to the lane
and
rises up.
That's a tough shot.
Yeah.
I mean, Carter's good at that shot, but he was floating. From our angle, you could see he was floating as he shot it.
There's a 3-point shot, and it goes off the glass. So the first one comes from Joel Sanders.
I think he banked it in. I couldn't tell for sure.
I thought it go off the glass, yeah, even though it's right in front of us.
I think he missed it that bad that it went in.
Well, again, that's sometimes all the shooters need is just to get that
exactly
first one
right.
to go through. 24-21 is the score. Jasper still with the lead. Howard battles, kicks it back out. Cabrick gets to the lane, stops. Grant Young a little trouble down there in the baseline, but he gets kicked, so we'll hang on to the basketball. 6:11 on the clock. Jasper looking for their first bucket, almost 2 minutes into it.
One thing we haven't talked about is Jasper's done a lot better with turnovers tonight. And again, a lot of that is the defense. As we say that, they commit one.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think that has a lot to do with it. The other night, you know, Wright's was quick, they were long, and they caused us havoc. Tonight we don't have that, so we kind of got our way with them on offense, but yet we're not doing anything with it.
Right. All right, so the Cats full court press here. Vincennes with the inbound, then we back off. Left in the corner, oh, he can't handle it, and it goes out of bounds, so tough break here for Vincennes. Joel Sanders loses the handle, so a turnover right back, gives the ball to the Wildcats. They're still leading 24-21, but yet to score in the quarter.
He was getting ready to try to shoot that before he caught it.
Yeah.
You got to catch it first, young man, before you can shoot it.
Heil back in for the Wildcats, along with Noblet.
Noblet's wide open.
He's been on fire, but can't hit his first one on the other side of the court. Now Grant Young, he'll drive the lane, turn, stuck down there, gets it into Wallace. Wallace can't get the shot up and in.
We got to be able to finish that. I mean, when you're a big man and you do get the ball, you better finish it. You know, and that wasn't that bad a shot or a tough shot. He just didn't finish it.
Paul gives it up, down low now. The 32 is Paul.
It's a nice move. He just didn't finish it either.
Grant Young hesitated for a second there, so kind of lost his rhythm on that shot.
That's exactly right.
3-point lead for the Wildcats still.
You got to be able to catch that ball and go right into your shooting motion, or don't shoot it.
Right. Gillis with it, gives it up to Luke Hall, number 2. McCrary keeping a better eye on him here in this quarter so far.
But you can just see the difference in the offense. Vincennes' guys on offense are moving. You know, yeah, I mean, they're not getting a lot out of it, but a guy moving is a lot harder to guard than a guy that's standing still.
Right. So that's Wade Hall, gives it back up. McCrary now up top to Luke. Two guys in the same spot there, so McCrary's going to have to bring it back out. So the Cats doing the job defensively here, but Vincennes patiently running their offense. Still just a 3-point game, 24-21. We played half the quarter. There's Gillis, he drives. There's McCrary. And he's able to knock down another 3-point shot. So he has got 4 in the ball game. 14 points to lead Vincennes, and they have tied it up here, 24-24. John Gable's had enough. He's got to settle this basketball team down. A 6-0 run to start it. It's tied the ball game at 24 here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Wildcats are going to inbound after the timeout. Yet to score in the quarter. We played 4.5 minutes of it. Mooney tries to attack. Noblet goes baseline. Gillis cuts him off. Heil up on the wing. Now working around the other side. Grant Young had an opening there, so go for it. And finally, Wildcats score in the quarter. 5 points for Grant. 27-24. Shot there too quick for Vincennes. Cats have a break opportunity here.
And that's what the pressing does.
2 straight 3-pointers for Jasper coming out of the timeout. Does the job offensively as Noblet has now hit his 5th 3-pointer to lead the Wildcats with 15 points. Just like that, the Cats are up by 6. Both teams are scoring has come from beyond the arc. Now there's a shot down low, and it's going to be a foul on Griffin Heil. So that's going to put Wade Hall to the line.
I think he called it before the shot. Yep, out of bounds.
I say Wade went straight to the free throw line, was warming up there. All right, so the Alices will have it underneath the basket here. Gus McCrary to inbound. Luke Hall gets it over to Gillis. Gillis picked up there by Noblet, so he's got nowhere to go. There's Luke Hall, his first shot, and he nails it. So 3-point basket there. All their points have come from beyond the arc. They've got 9 in the quarter. And we got a 3-point game. Jasper 30, Vincennes 27. 2 minutes to go here in the third.
I would have liked to seen a big stop there and give us the ball with a 6-point lead. But instead we get it with a 3-point lead.
So 5 buckets have been scored in this quarter. All of them been 3-pointers. 2 for Jasper, 3 for Vincennes. But there's a 2-pointer, doesn't go. Luke Hall, he hit from there last time. Can't get it this time, though. Nava comes down with the board, gets it over to Grant. There's Mundi. See if he can break out of the. Yes, he does. So again, for keeping score, 3 3-pointers for Vincennes, 3 3-pointers for the Wildcats. Carter's got his first 3 points of the ball game there. 6-point lead for the Cats. Oh, nice up and under there by Wade Hall, attacking the basket.
It's too easy. It's too easy. There was no help defense to help on the guy that was penetrating.
33-29 with a minute to go here in the third quarter. Griffin kind of sealed things there for Grant Young, but he wasn't able to get a shot. Now he gets it down low, double team. He's all over him, and he feeds it over to Giesler. Giesler can't get the shot to go, so 35 seconds. Vincennes has the basketball. It looks like they're going to hold for 1, trailing by 4, 33-29.
Here's what we got. Get after them on defense. Don't just let them run the clock down. Get up there and get after them.
Carter picks things up there on Hall. And actually it looks like it went off Carter there.
I didn't see it either.
I thought he just threw it away at first.
I did too, but.
Notice the angle, I guess, changed a little bit there, but I was just kind of hard to see from up here. But so Vincennes will have it side out with 15.9 on the clock.
This is a tough place to take a ball out of bounds here. Did a good job of getting it in, though.
All right, so there's a foul by Grant Young. Actually, just the second foul whistled in the quarter.
But that's kind of a foolish foul. I mean, you know, the guy's 50 feet from the bucket, you know, not doing anything.
Yeah. So 10 seconds now. Gets it into Hall. Gives it over to Luke Hall. Now Gillis with it with 4 seconds. McCrary, he kind of heaves one up there, and it goes in. What a night for Gus McCrary. He has popped his 5th 3-pointer of the ball game, and it makes it a 1-point game going into the 4th quarter. Jasper 33, Vincennes 32 here on 18 WJTS. So the Wildcats' 6-point halftime lead is cut to 1 as Vincennes outscores the Wildcats 14-9 there in that third quarter. But there were actually 7 3-pointers hit between the two teams, and in the ball game, both teams have hit 7 each. Luke Hall gives it up. There's McCrary again. He is feeling it tonight. He has drilled another one. 20 points for Gus McCrary coming into the ball game, averaging just 5 and shooting 20% from 3-point range. And he is nailing it tonight, and there's going to be a foul down low, and it's going to be a blocking foul. I think this will go on McCrary, actually. But a shooting display shown tonight by Gus, number 21. He has hit 6 3-pointers in the ball game as Carter Mundi comes in for Noblet. Vincennes with a 2-point lead over the Wildcats. Cabrick left alone. Long on that 3-point shot, so he's not able to get in on the fun. So the Vincennes Lincoln Owls 1-7, 0-2 in the conference, leading the Jasper Wildcats by 2 with 7 minutes to go here in the 4th.
We're just settling for that outside 3-point shot too much. I mean, I know we've hit some, but I would still like to see us aggressive, taking the ball north and south and go to the basket.
Well, it looks like the Wildcats are trying to be in everybody's grill everywhere they are right now, in this possession at least. But a nice move there, and going over to the top of Howard is Wade Hall. Just 4 points for him, but he's made a nice move. And Vincennes is extended to a 4-point lead, and John Gable has got to get his team under control. 6:37 to go here in the fourth. Lincoln Alice's 37, Jasper 33 here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Cats with the inbounds. Jason, what's the problem going on right now?
We're just not playing with any enthusiasm, no energy. You know, we're just out there kind of going through the motions, expecting Vincennes is 1-7. They're going to roll over at any time. You know, and the longer, well, obviously, I mean, we've let them stay in the game this long, so now they think they can play with us.
Yeah, again, forgetting that it's a big rivalry game. I don't think they're really getting that message tonight.
No, and that was one of the points that the coaches, I'm sure, made to them, that it's a rivalry game. I don't care what the records are. You got to throw that out, because anytime Jasper and Vincennes play, it's going to be a dogfight,
right,
no matter how good or bad one of the teams are.
Grant Young, he's got an opening. He can't get the three-point shot, so again, we're just constantly settling for that perimeter shot.
Yep.
Not taking advantage of our size. I mean, Vincennes, of course, winning this game as far as shooting perimeter shots, but, you know, live by the three, die by the three. Right now they're living by with a 4-point lead. Luke Hall, he's hit a couple. He's hit another one. Luke Hall had not scored in the first half, but he's got one there. And now Vincennes has really got this crowd fired up. 40-33 with 5:23 to go here in the fourth, here on 18 WJTS. Well, Jason Stamm, it's just plain and simple. We've been outscored 22-9 in the second half so far. 6 of those, or 6 3-pointers been hit by Vincennes. Cats have really just got to get things under control here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of, you know, who wants this? You know, right now Vincennes wants this game worse than what we do. I mean, they're playing like, you know, their whole season's on the line, and you know, I don't care what their record is. If they can win this game tonight, you know, that's a huge step for them.
Mundi, again, his three-point game has just been so off. Still looking for his first three-pointer.
And a lot of his shots, they're not in the flow of the offense.
Right.
You know, he's used to being able to catch and shoot, but he's having to do some things that he's not used to doing.
Gieser's able to hit a jump shot there, so hopefully that gets the Wildcats charged up a little bit. First points of the quarter.
We got to do a better job down here on the defensive end. I mean, we're allowing them too many easy shots, wide open threes. I mean, to their credit, they're hitting them, but.
And they're actually going to call the foul there on Griffin Heil, because he was pretty well going to get beat to the basket there, so about the only thing he could do was foul in that situation.
This is one of these games, the only thing you can hope for right now is just to come out of here with a win.
Yeah.
No matter how you do it, what you do, it's going to be ugly, but you got to try to come out of here with a W.
And we're still within range. I mean,
there's no doubt.
4 or 5-point ball game, 40-35. Cats working some substitutions here. So right now, Grant Young, Cabrick, Wallace, Mundi, and Geese are on the floor for the Wildcats. Vincennes has only gone pretty well 6 deep. Briefly, Darius Hill was in the basketball game, but their starting 5 is still on the floor right now. So Wade Hall picks up his dribble, in a little bit of trouble there, and he gets bailed out there by Sanders. So Cabrick doing a nice job staying on top of him. So again, this is just one of those situations, but you know, Vincennes working some clock here, being patient with this possession, but if they get an opening, actually a foul call before Luke Hall was able to shoot that shot there. So halfway through the fourth quarter, Vincennes with a 5-point lead, and fouls are starting to pick up a little bit here. It's a second one whistled on the Wildcats in this quarter. 4-1 is the discrepancy there. Sanders hit just 1 3-pointer, but he drives there in a little Euro step. No call on the travel, but Cats are able to keep possession of the basketball on the rebound there. Mundi stops, absorbs the contact, three-point opportunity for him.
See, that was a lot better. We didn't settle for the outside jump shot. He penetrated, he got to the basket, got his man up off his feet trying to block the shot, and was able to finish it. And now we just got to convert the old-fashioned three-point play.
So the Wildcat leading scorer with just 5 points tonight, but the free throw is good, so that makes it 6. Maybe that'll break his ice.
And the thing with Vincennes down here on this end, they're playing into Jasper's hands because they're not looking to score.
Yeah.
There's too much time on the clock for that to happen. I mean, they still got to shoot the basketball. They got to run their off, do what got them to that point.
Right.
Not think that they're going to hold the ball and maintain that lead.
All right, so the fouls are starting to pick up on the Wildcats. This one's going to go on Grant Young.
And we don't need to do that yet. I mean, we just need to play good, solid defense, force them into a bad shot or a turnover, and see what happens.
Inbound the backcourt goes to Sanders. So as Luke Hall is just a sophomore out there, but he has pretty well run the offense for Vincennes tonight.
Oh, they missed a back cut there. They had a layup.
Down to 2:58 on the clock. Jasper trailing by 2. Oh, there's a back play, or at least a cut to the basket, and wide open there for Wade Hall. Good look there by McCrary to get it to him.
See, we had a mismatch there. Hall was on Wallace, and we didn't even look in there.
Teardrop way short by Mundi, but he's able to get his rebound and put it back up and in. So,
yeah, we were fortunate that was so short that it barely hit the rim and came right back to him.
Yeah. 2-point game with 2:14 on the clock here in the fourth. Getting down to crunch time. Jasper against Vincennes. There's a backdoor play, wide open, right up and in for number 5, Benson.
Obviously, we can't be trading baskets with them. I mean, we've got to have a stop down here on defense to get us back in, a chance to go on offense, to tie or go ahead.
They try to feed down low, and it goes out of bounds, so Jasper will have the basketball underneath their own basket as substitutions. At least now, but one substitution coming in. Jasper trailing by 4 with 1:44 to go. 44-40 right now. Feed into Wallace. He absorbs the contact, but can't get the shot up and in, but he's going to shoot 2.
These are obviously very important. You've got to be able to capitalize on the clock stopped. An opportunity to gain 2 points here.
Cats have only been to the free throw line 3 times. They're 1 of 4, make it 2 of 5 now. Wallace, first points of the ball game tonight, right there. Wow.
And wow is exactly right. I mean, and it's not all his fault, but he's had some shots that he hasn't hit.
Can't get the other one, but Gieser comes down with a rebound. Cats need to convert on this possession with 1:37, trailing by 3, 44-41.
And we don't have to have a 3. I mean, we just need the points.
Cabrick with a big shot. Cabrick's got 6 in the ball game. It's a 1-point game with 1:24 now. 44-43, Vincennes gets it across. Sanders with it. McCrary, he's been hot all night. Grant Young on Luke Hall as he tries to make a move.
Hall gets the ball and he goes to the right side all the time with his right hand. And that was one of the things on the scouting report was they're all right-handed. Force them.
Almost a steal there by Carter Mundi, and Vincennes calls the timeout.
Force them to go left-handed.
Yeah.
And we haven't done that.
All right, well, our situation right now, 54 seconds on the clock. Jasper's trailing by 1. Alice is with the basketball. Foul situations, 5 on the Wildcats, 3 on Vincennes. So that's really not come into play as far as bonus or anything like that just yet. But, again, we just got to get this basketball back.
Yeah, we got to play good, solid defense here for this possession. Put up the pressure. Put some pressure on them. Get out there, get after them. You know, don't give up the back cut. The last couple baskets they've scored have been when we have tried that, but then the guys lose sight of their man, and then it ends up with a layup.
Well, and the other thing, too, with that foul to give, you can be a little bit more aggressive, especially at the beginning of this possession here.
But be aggressive inside the three-point line. You don't have to be aggressive out at the half-court line.
Yeah.
You know, that's where we've committed some of our fouls that are kind of foolish fouls because they're not doing anything out there. If a guy gets the ball inside the three-point line, then be aggressive.
Right.
You foul, so what?
All right, so both teams come back out. Vincennes has really shown some stamina tonight because most of their starters have played almost the whole game.
Can't give up an easy basket here.
Tough time. Oh, almost a steal there by Noblet. There's a drive by Hall. He's going to back it back out. 47 seconds. So again, and now the Cats actually commit a foul here.
There's a perfect example. He's in trouble, okay? He's got nowhere to pass the ball. You've got a good double team on him.
Yeah.
Stay with it.
Make him make the mistake.
Make him find somebody to throw the ball to, but we bailed him out.
All right, 6th foul on the Wildcats, so no shooting yet. Oh, just like, a jump ball. They do call it. Good job by Noblet to get right into his grill and take that basketball, or at least get his hands on it. And a possession is for the Wildcats, so 43.9 on the clock. Cats do substitute Wallace in.
That's a huge break there.
Big time.
Normally you don't get one of those on the road.
I know. But good awareness by Noblet to get his hands on it.
Yes, it was.
All right, so the Cats trail by 1, 44-43, 39 seconds to go. Let's see how it plays out. Cats can hold for 1 if they want. Down to 25 seconds.
They'll set up a play here, I would assume, and that's a smart play there because that's only their 4th team foul.
You're right.
Now we have to inbound the ball, which is going to take more time. They've got 2 more to do that too.
All right, the Alice has actually called the timeout, so they're going to take a full one. We'll take a quick break here. 20.8 on the clock. When we come back, Cats will have the basketball trailing by 1 here in the 4th quarter on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Cats will have the basketball after the timeout there. Vincennes actually called that one. Mundi with it. Drives quickly, and he gets, they're going to say it's before the shot.
That was close.
Oh,
that
man.
was very close.
Yeah. So, again, no free throws yet because it's just the 5th foul on Vincennes. So, actually a good foul in their situation, not letting Mundi get that shot up. Down to 16 seconds. Cats down by 1, 44-43.
And we don't have to have a 3.
Mundi, step back, and he gets blocked. Battle for the ball. Down to 5 seconds. And we get a foul over here, but again, no free throws yet. You're right.
It's only going to be number 6.
Yes.
Well, we got lucky there, though, because that was a scrum. I mean, there was guys everywhere trying to get that ball.
But man, what a block there. Wade Hall got his hand on that. So now the Cats with 3.9 seconds to go.
Well, they're going to look for Mundi somewhere here. So
Mundi loses the handle. Vincennes, and a quick foul there by Grant Young, and Vincennes has a chance to, I'm not going to say completely seal it. We still got 2.2 on the clock, so you never know. But
and it's a bonus. It's not a 2-shot foul. And this is who's at the line?
Yeah, stepping up there is Sanders.
Sophomore. So
shoots 68% from the foul line.
But we only got 2 seconds. So I'm surprised that Vincennes is back as far as what they are. Instead of being up here, I would have them right behind the 3-point line so that you got a little bit of pressure on them.
All right, so now Jasper calls the timeout. I'm kind of surprised with 3.9 seconds there that we didn't actually call a timeout at that time, to try to set something up.
I was too, unless they were going to try to, and I don't know what they tried to, inbounds they tried to run there, but Mundi popped out trying to get the ball.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I couldn't tell if it was a bad pass, if he wasn't ready for it. I couldn't tell, but
right.
He fumbled it, and Vincennes was right there to recover it.
All right, so the situation, and that's the thing too with Vincennes. do you miss the free throw so you can't really get something set up? But, again, that might give them quick momentum, because if they're going to play back, it depends on what they come out with here.
Yeah.
But if they're going to play back.
I mean, I think, obviously you go up here try to hit these two, because then the worse you're up 3.
Yeah.
Even a Hail Mary 3 that goes in is just a tie ball game.
Yeah.
So I don't think you try to miss anything, because you can go pretty far in 2 seconds. Now, the clock keeper here is very vital to this.
Yes.
As to when he turns that clock on.
All right, so big time free throws here for Joel Sanders. It's their leading scorer, but just 3 points tonight on a 3-point shot in the third quarter. And he pops that first free throw. 2-point lead for the Owls, 45-43. Second foul shot, misses. Cat's gonna have to work quickly. Get over to Grant Young, launches one up there right off the rim, and Vincennes knocks off the Jasper Wildcats. 45-43.
Well, Craig, there's just not a lot you can say. We talked all night long, looking at the scouting report, looking at the things that we needed to do to win this basketball game. And we didn't do those. We talked about in games like this, a lot of times the team that deserves to win the game ends up not winning it. But I felt like tonight, Vincennes probably deserved to win this game more than what Jasper did.
Right.
I hate to say that, but they played obviously better than what they've probably played a lot of games this year. They wouldn't be 1-7.
Right.
But from Jasper's standpoint, you got to expect that. It's Jasper Vincennes. We've talked about that. It's a rival, and I just don't think we didn't get off the bus in the first quarter. We have a hard time getting jump started to get the game started in the right note.
Right.
We did it the other night against Wrights. Killed us, in that first quarter. Tonight, we were behind 13-8 after the first quarter. Played a lot better the second quarter, took the lead. Third quarter was basically even. They outscored us by 5 in the third quarter, but I felt like we just never could get over the hump.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like with Vincennes, they hit their open shots more so than what we did. I mean, we had a lot of open looks, and we hit a number of threes tonight. But, Mooney just missed it. Every one he shot,
Yeah. And he's, and we've talked about that. He's struggled with that basically all year.
Yeah.
He really has. Is it the pressure because he's the man now?
Yeah.
And he's expected to score and to be able to produce. I don't know. We can't sit up here. Well, we can just speculate what we think. But, it's not a lack of Carter not trying.
Right.
Carter's out there working his butt off.
It's just not falling.
It's just not going for him.
Right.
Hopefully, at some point, that's going to click and it's going to start.
Yeah.
I think part of it is I just feel like some of his shots that he's getting aren't in rhythm.
Yeah.
Basketball and shooting particularly is a lot about rhythm.
Yes.
Catch, shoot, catch, shoot,
Yep.
not catch, hesitate, and shoot.
Yes.
It's got to be a flow to it and into the game. And,
Right.
And right now, I don't feel like Carter's able to do that.
Right.
It's not to his fault.
Right.
Fully.
Yeah.
But I just feel like our offense as a whole is stagnant.
It is.
The thing that sticks out to me tonight is that key stat is dominate the paint.
Yeah.
We did not do that. I don't know what our total scoring was, but
it's
I
real
bet
simple.
we didn't have 10 points in the paint tonight.
Okay, well, let's take a look at this. Will Wallace had no field goals, just 1 of 2 from the free throw line. So, again, nothing as far as offense from him. Cameron Howard just on that one break had a bucket there. So, again, just 2 points for him. And then also Griffin Heil with just 2 points, in the second quarter. So that's 6 points out of our big man, and our big men were much bigger than what their front line was.
Yeah, and that's why it said dominate the paint,
because
they have no paint presence.
Right.
And they didn't. Who was it? The one kid did a very good job out there tonight. he was basically their big man.
Yeah.
You know, I think the Wade
yeah,
Hall.
Wade Hall, yeah.
You know, he was basically their big man, and he wasn't very big.
Right.
But
and he got some real timely buckets there in that second half. Finishes with 8 points tonight.
You know, and some of those were, what was he doing? He was aggressive. He was taking the ball to the hole. We're lacking that right now.
Yeah.
We're not going to the basket with the ball, and when we do, we get to the paint and we pull up, and then there we're at.
Right.
We're stuck.
Yeah,
we got two guys on us. We don't have a passing angle, a passing lane. We're too close to the low post guy to get him the ball because one guy is guarding two.
Yeah.
So we don't have that ability to get it in there.
Well, one thing, whenever you drive into the paint, I really can't stand when a basketball player just stops. You know, again, picks up his dribble and hesitates right there in the lane. You know, again, you get to the lane, you got to make something happen. Either a drive, attack the basket, give it up, a nice feed someplace. But again, I just don't think it's any place where you need to stop and pick up your dribble.
No, I mean, you know, the coaching staff, and I know this from coaching sixth grade and watching these guys practice, they want you to penetrate, jump stop, and then as you do the jump stop, you're either going up for the shot to hit the shot or get fouled, or you jump stop and you're making a pass to somebody.
Yeah.
We penetrate, we jump stop, and then we think, oh, now what am I going to do?
Yeah.
You know, and that's why we're getting ourselves into a lot of trouble when we get the ball in the paint. We get in there and everything's too close, too congested.
Too close.
And like I said, one guy now on defense is guarding two guys.
Right. Well, yeah, just again a tough loss, really. You know, again, it's a conference game, and it's a conference game that, you know, you kind of look at the schedule of games that we can win this year and all that. And it's, you know, again, very disappointing. It's almost like IU last night against Iowa. You know, again, jumped out into early lead in that ball game. But, again, it's a road game, a conference game that you got to win. And these are tough ones to swallow.
They are. There's no doubt about it. You know, I'm sure that, you know, the coaches are very, very disappointed in this, you know, and rightfully so. I'm sure, you know, after the Wrights game on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'm sure they went after it pretty hard in practice, you know, and they did their part to prepare these young men for this game. Basketball is a lot about execution, and right now we're not executing hardly anything.
No,
we're not
really.
executing on the offensive end. We're not doing it on the defensive end. I mean, yeah, we held Vincennes to 45 points. That's not that bad.
Right.
But you're talking about a team that's 1-7.
Yes.
You know, you're holding them to 45 points. Well, I'm not so sure that that's a great feat. I mean, I don't know what they've scored throughout the course of the year as far as point-wise.
Yeah.
But it's kind of demoralizing to not be able to do the things that the coaching staff is preaching to these young men about how to win basketball games. You know, these are close games, and you got to be able to win those down the stretch because, you know, you may find yourself in that situation right there. Okay, yeah, this is a regular season game. It is a conference game, makes it a little bit bigger deal. But let's say that last inbounds play where we threw the ball away or whatever happened. Let's say that's a sectional.
Yeah.
You know. Somebody out there has to be a leader on the floor, and organize those guys. The coaches don't get out on the floor, They need somebody out there to be a coach on the floor and say, "Hey, let's go. Call everybody together. Here's what we're doing. Let's execute this."
Yeah,
we don't have that right now.
Right now,
we don't have any leadership. I was talking to Coach Albrand before the game, and he said, you know, that's one thing that they're very disappointed in as a coaching staff is they have nobody that wants to step up and be a leader of this group.
Right.
You know, they've got guys that are trying to do the bet. Let's rephrase this. These kids aren't out here. They didn't come up here tonight with the idea to lose. Okay,
no.
But they need to figure out what do they need to do to win games.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, the first thing you got to do is start listening to your coaching staff.
Right.
You know, when they give you this scouting report, you need to execute this.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, you're talking about leadership. Four of our 5 starters are seniors.
Yeah.
So you would think that someone would step up out of that. But
and yeah, some of them don't have a lot of varsity experience, but they do now. This was our 9th game.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
they're starting to get that.
Right.
You know, so I don't know. Here comes Coach. I don't know which one you'll get, but either one of them is going to be a fun interview. So I'm glad you're doing it and not me.
I agree. So, all right, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk with one of the coaches and get their thoughts on this ball game tonight. Jasper falls to Vincennes 45-43 here on 18 WJTS. Well, we're back once again here at Alice Arena, and we got Jason Albrand to break it down. 45-43 ball game, Jason.
Yeah, low-scoring game. I think a lot of times you have a rivalry game. That's not uncommon. I thought both teams at times weren't in any real hurry offensively, so that's one reason for a low-scoring game as well. And I thought we had multiple open looks. I thought, it wasn't like we just couldn't get any shots out of our offense, and I thought we had, a dozen to 15 shots that, we'll take any time.
Right.
And I hate to be one of those, well, if the ball goes in the hole, you always typically win.
Sure.
But, so that didn't get to the foul line. I think we were 2 or 3 of 6 from the foul line, and that's not near enough there. A positive, we only had 2 turnovers. So that was a positive, but we just we didn't make shots. You had a rival team that was hungry for a win and got off to a good start, and we told them, if they get off to a good start, they're going to be hard to put away. And they were. They found hope and belief, and to their credit, they made shots and hit some tough ones and got a win.
Yeah, and coming into the ball game, again, did you kind of key on Joel Sanders? He's their leading scorer, at least on paper. But
yeah, he was obviously our main focus from the perimeter. McCrary, who got hot tonight, we knew he was capable. I thought we did a poor job of in-game adjusting. High school kids, you only got a small sample size when you scout and see things. And so there's going to be times where, although we didn't come in and say, hey, let him shoot, he can't play. We knew he was capable of scorer, but I thought we did a poor job once he did make 2 or 3 of realizing, okay, we got to make sure we give him more attention and don't help off as much. And he hit a couple tough ones. He banked in the one at the end of the third quarter. He was falling backwards from 25 feet and had a guy on him. But and then we got beat on a couple back doors late in the fourth quarter there, just not in a stance on the weak side. We tell our guys all the time, the weak side's where you make your plays. You get in a stance and anticipate and make a play. It's hard to make a play on the ball a lot of times because all eyes are on you, and if there's a little contact, sometimes you get a foul call. But on the weak side, that's where you read that skip pass or you read a back cut and you step in there, and I thought we did a poor job on the weak side of doing that as well.
And Jason and I were talking at the end of the ball game, just Carter Mooney's just having a really tough time hitting that three-point shot.
Well, I think he's probably putting pressure on himself. There's no secret that for us to do well and for us to be successful, he's going to have to hit some shots for us. He can't go 1 of 9 from the arc, and there's no pressure coming from us. I think it's just, I think his teammates know it. He knows it. He's a good shooter, and the worst thing you can do when you're a good shooter, when you miss a couple, is start doubting and getting passive. And at no time was he told to not shoot. You got to shoot your way out of a slump sometimes, and especially when you're a good shooter like that. So he needs, I think sometimes too early in the game, I think he kind of presses to get going. Yeah. And as the game, he'll get his looks. Like I said tonight, he had 9 looks from the arc, and I think most of them, except for the one that might have got blocked there late in the game, most of them were pretty wide open. Good as open as he's been in a long time. Right. So we've got to get Noblet step up tonight and had a good game. Right. Wallace has. We're just we're not getting very much consistent play really from anybody right now. Yeah. We've had guys, and we're not good enough. This team isn't good enough to come out here and have a couple guys play well and 2 or 3 guys have an off night. We don't have the depth. We don't have the dudes. And that's fine. Right. Nobody has to be Superman. Nobody has to score 25 either. But we have to have, Wallace played really well at Central. Nobble didn't play well. It's just, and Grant's kind of had up and down. And I think they're logging a lot of minutes because of the fact we don't have a great deal of depth. And there's a lot of undue pressure, I'm sure, they're putting on themselves to have to step. Because those, Grant and Andrew are the only 2 that really logged any meaningful minutes last year. Yeah. So hopefully with some experience from the other guys, we can get maybe more of a consistent effort. But, this one hurts, no doubt about it. Yeah, I agree. And I thought we had a size advantage coming into the ball game, too, and we only got 5 points. Yeah, they did a nice job, I thought, of helping off our backside big. We've got to have more awareness that, when your guys double team in the post, basically flash to the elbow because there's nobody guarding you.
Yeah.
And sometimes we get we're guilty of watching the ball.
Yeah.
Offensively. We had too many guys. It's a disease that every player we has. We watch the ball. You should be watching the defense and watching where they're playing you and how can I get open, how can I get my teammate open. And you can't make those decisions staring at the basketball.
Right.
And those are habits that are hard to break, and we've been on them to do that, and hopefully, over time we'll kind of get better at that. But 2 games in a row, 40-some points, and we get beat. I think we held Rights to 48, I think it was.
Right.
Hold Vincennes to 45. Those are games you should win. I mean, high school game, if we can hold teams in the 40s, we feel pretty darn good about our chances of coming out on top. So, yeah, we didn't get much going. We had a little Griff had a nice little stretch there. Had to put back another bucket, but we just didn't get good position. When we did, we didn't feed it. When we got it in there, they doubled, and I thought in the first half, some of the good looks we got, though, came from playing inside, and we did make a lot of good reads. I thought Cam and Wally and all those guys did a good job. When the double team came, they kicked it out. We got a reversal.
Yeah.
We got that open look.
Right.
And we just didn't make many of them tonight.
Well, you only got hours now to get ready for North.
Is that good or bad? I don't know. Sometimes it's a good thing to get back on the floor. But, North's another team that's having record-wise, having a down year. I think they're 2-8 right now. But they returned a couple guys that played quite a bit from last year's team, kind of like us. They're breaking in some new players, and so, we're going to have to regroup. We're going to see, I guess, how mentally tough we are, because if we come in tomorrow night and feel sorry for ourselves and have our heads down, then it'll be a lot like tonight.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to regroup and learn from this and not dwell on it and hopefully get it a little better. Obviously we're not playing our best basketball, and another 2-point game. I mean, now we've got, I think, 4 losses and 5 losses, and I think 4 of them are within 2 or 4 points.
Right.
So we've put ourselves in a position, no matter how poorly we played, to maybe come out on top, but just got to do better. We're digging ourselves too big of a hole.
Right.
There's been too many games where the first quarter you look up and we're down 5 or 6 points, and there again, we're not good enough to call a timeout and flip a switch and all of a sudden going to 10, 12, 14-0 run against good teams.
Right.
That's just not who we are. So we have to understand that. We got to understand who we are.
Right.
I think sometimes that's hard. It's hard to look in the mirror and look at yourself and play to your strengths and realize you're not this or that. But together as a group, we can still be pretty good if we can all play to our strengths.
Well, that's the thing. We got a lot of basketball to play yet. So
yeah, we do. We got to stay positive. I mean, that's as a coach, you can't go in there and say it's okay, and you can't go in there and browbeat them and yell at them and break them down, and then because you get to turn on play tomorrow. So hopefully we'll come in the morning and discuss a few things and get a little better tomorrow.
All right. Well, get on that bus.
Appreciate
get a little bit of rest and get back to work.
I will. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. All right, tough game for the Jasper Wildcats, especially a rivalry game like this on the road at Vincennes, and come up short 45-43. The Owlises knocking off the Wildcats. So quick rundown of scoring here for the Owlises. Gus McCrary, again, just a career night, I assume, for him tonight, only averaging 5 points a ball game and hitting 20% from three-point range, and he pops for 20 points, and almost all of his field goals except one came from beyond the arc. No other scores in double figures. 8 points for Wade Hall, 4 points for Joel Sanders, 7 points for Benson, and Luke Hall had 6. For the Wildcats, they were led in scoring tonight by Andrew Noblet. He had 5 3-pointers, but nothing in the fourth quarter there. So Cats able to score just 10 points against Vincennes in that fourth quarter. Other scorers, Carter Moondy. Again, we got to get him out of his slump here, shooting from beyond the arc, but he finishes with 8 points, all coming in the second half. 5 points for Grant Young, 6 points for Charlie Cabrick, a point for Will Wallace. Cameron Howard had 2, and also bench scoring Braden Gieser with 4 points, Griffin Howell with 2. So, again, Wildcats back at home tomorrow night for their 4th straight SIAC basketball game. So far, they're 1-2 in their 3 during this stretch. So they'll play Evansville North tomorrow night, and their record drops to 4-5 with the loss, and Vincennes improves to 2-7. So for Jeremy Marcos, Jason Stamm, and myself, Craig Schneider, Thanks for watching Wildcat Basketball. Cats fall 45-43 to the Vincennes Lincoln Alice's here on 18 WJTS. Good night.